Om Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarvavighnopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Me Sada Yenakshara Samamnayam Adhigamya Maheshwarat Kritsnam Vyakaranam Proktam Tasmai Paninaye Namaha Vakyakaram Vararuchim Bhashyakaram Patanjalim Paninim Sutrakarancha Pranatosmi Munitrayam Vagarthaviva Sampraktau Vagartha Pratipattaye Jagadaspitaro Vande Parvati Parameshwaro Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Welcome. So I know it's been some time. So welcome. It's nice to see all of you. We'll continue. I know it's been some time. We'll start with the Maheshwara Sutra. We'll do the normal routine, and then we can do a little bit of recap and just see how things are going. Yeah. So start with Maheshwara Sutra. Om A I Un Rilik A Ong I Ouch Haya Varat Lan Nyama Gana Nama Jabhanya Gadhadash Jabagadadash Kapha Chatha Chatatav Kapai Shashasar Hal Iti Maheshwarani Sutrani Om Tip Thas Ji Sip Thas Tha Mip Vas Mas Ta Atham Jha Thas Atham Dvam Hit Vahi Mahinga. Okay. So if we remember, we're in our Panchavritti, right? There's 5 different types of modifications that can take place in the language. One of them we've been seeing for some time has been Kṛdanta, right? So Kṛdanta are the final nouns. But what we do is we're adding Krit pratyas, right? The suffixes, and we add these Krit pratyas to a root, to a dhatu, to make a new nominal base, meaning pratipadika. So we're adding Krit pratyaya to a dhatu, and we're going to equals a new pratipadika. We've seen a number of these so far. Last time we were seeing Shatrushanach for some time, and now we're moving on to Bhave and other Karakas. So I don't think we need to necessarily go back and look at Shatrushanach. We spent some time there. And we can continue on to Bhave and Karaka. So this is a fresh start. So we're starting, it feels like we're starting the whole new year now. And so this is where we can start. Okay. So this is our next section. It's the Bhave section, but it's not really only Bhave, it's other Karakas as well. So we're going to call it the Bhave section, but it's kind of a misleading name because we're going to be looking at in different Karakas as well. Okay, if we remember what Bhave or Bhava means, right? Bhava means the action itself. Okay, so this is, if we put that word bhava in seventh case, we say bhave. These words are going to be in the sense of bhava, in the sense of the action itself. So we're going to make new pratipadikas, which denote bhava, the action itself. And to make that, the following krit pratyas are going to be suffixed to a dhatu. Okay? So today we're going to see the word lyut, which denotes bhava. Okay? So this is what we're going to spend more time on today, lyut. So it denotes bhava, but as I said, it also other karakas can be involved too, right? So this lyut can denote karana, adhikarana, and really any karaka, as we'll see. Okay. Ghan, we'll see more about ganyarta and ktin. Okay, so these are the three main ones: lyut, ghan, and ktin. This is Ktin, ktin. The way it's written, sometimes it can look different. Okay. So, for example, if we just look at lyut, if we start with just lyut, where we're going to spend some time with, lyut, this krit pratyaya is suffixed to any dhatu. Okay, so it's suffixed to any dhatu to make a pratipadika, meaning the action or denoting the action itself, the bhava. So lyut is similar to the English suffix ing. So English examples include sleep, right? If I sleep, that's the dhatu, is the sleep. But now if I add a ing pratyaya, then it means sleeping, right? So similar here, if we have a dhatu and then I have lyut is like adding ing. So sleeping is a good remedy. Or the word in telling lies is not good. The word telling, right? The dhatu of that word is tell. And we add the pratyaya ing. Telling lies is not good. So similarly, when we add lyut in bhave, it adds that sense of ing, meaning it's doing it in the present. Okay. We're not going to see these in details right now because we'll come back to them. So as we were saying, lyut, so you can repeat after me, lyut, lyut. Okay. So I'll just go over this quickly, Harprasadji, and then we can come back to your question in a moment. Okay. So there's 7 things to be known, as there always is 7 things. The first thing to know is lyut, what it points to, right? Or what it denotes. As I just said, as we've been talking about, it can refer to the bhava, the action itself. This is like where we add the ing. Or it can refer to karana. These are common that we can refer to karana or adhikarana. And we're going to see some examples, what we mean by karana and adhikarana and bhave. We'll see examples of all of these. But we know we've seen when words are kartari or karmani, right? We know when a word is kartari, it refers to the agent of doing that action. Or karmani, it means the object of that action. Similarly here, it can be karane, meaning the instrument of doing that action, or it can be adhikarana, the place where that action is done. Right? But as I say that, look how it's hard to make rules in Sanskrit because really anything is possible by the shishta prayoga. Shishta prayoga means usage of shishta. Shishta means the respected elders or respected people. So anything is possible. So you can use it in any of the 6 karakas. Okay. So we'll see some examples of that. one thing we need to know the content of lyut. So you notice how it's lakara, you, and then takara, right? Lakara and takara are it letters. So all you're left with is you. But something funny happens and it completely changes. You is changed to ana. So if you look at the screen, you is changed to ana. A-N-A, ana. Why? Well, because it's said. Because it's told like that. There's no real reason. The word lyut comes in other places, but this lyut, when we're adding it, it's converted to ana when we're adding it to a dhatu. Okay. And there's Panini Muni said that. He says, yuvoho, anako. So basically, you becomes ana. Okay. You becomes ana. Okay. So we saw 1, 2, 3. Number 4 is that, as I said, it's going to be replaced by ana. The na of ana is subject to being to natva, meaning that a lot of times it's going to be more danya nakara. It's going to be this nak is going to become this na. And a lot of times guna can take place on the anga. We will review that as well. Okay. So far, what have we learned? We're talking about this pratyaya called lyut. Lyut can be in bhave, it can be in karane, it can be in adhikarane, but it can really be, the meaning can be in any sense, any karaka. The content of lyut is ana. Ana. A-N-A. Ana, sometimes the nakara will become more danya if there's a ra or sha before. And guna can take place on the anga, as we will see in a moment. The gender, we will use napumsaka linga gender when lyut is in the sense of bhava. When it's in that sense, it will be in napumsaka linga, when we're using that ing sense, the bhava. Or when lyut is in the sense of karana or adhikarana, or really any of the karakas, the gender is going to be decided by the forms that are already there, existing forms by the usage of learned people. Meaning that as Sanskrit students, we're not actually trying to create our own sentences. We're trying to read and understand the sentences that already exist. And so sometimes you'll see these words used in different genders based on how the language has been passed down. Okay, let me just pause there for a moment, and I'll take any questions that are there. Let me just. Oh, Harprasad, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Oh, yeah. Namaste, Mahodaya. It's nice to see you.
Yes.
My question is, most of the pratyas we have learned is come under the umbrella of Krut pratyaya.
Yeah, Kṛdanta, yeah.
Kṛdanta. So, and as you said, dhatu plus any Kṛdanta forms a pratipadika.
Yeah.
Now, is it pratipadika? Is it or pratipadikam? Is that a napumsakalinga word?
It's akaranta napumsakalinga word.
So it is pratipadikam.
So it's pratipadikam if we're using the pratipadikam. Okay, what I mean is sometimes when we're speaking the word, either we take the pratipadikam itself, or we take the 1-1
1 of that
of the word.
particular in which linga?
So for example, of any linga. So if I can say Ramaha, or I just say Rama, because the Pratipadika is Rama, but the 1-1 is Rama. So when I'm referring it to it, I can use I use either. That's we can use those in the language.
Because we see Pratipadika, it is mentioned right here when what we are talking, but if it is a Napumsakalinga word, why don't you say Pratipadikam?
Yeah, so we can use either is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not, yeah, we can use either. It's not really you can use,
okay.
They're both used interchangeably. Yeah.
All right. Can you also explain how Ana, which is the content of the pratyaya, is derived from the name of the pratyaya, please?
Yes, I will. So I'm just going to mute you. Let me know if there's still a question there, okay? Really, there's no there's no clear transformation process. What the transformation process is that Panini Muni says that wherever you see you, anywhere you see you, it becomes ana. So if we break the sandhi, it's yuvoho, ana, aka. We don't need to worry about the aka because that comes later. That's in a different sense. We'll see that at a different time. But where it says is you becomes ana. That's what Panini says. So there's no, because, yeah, so that's just how it is in essence. Why then we have lakara and takara and all of this is there originally were, I think so for example, the lakara, there was a swara most likely on the lakara. When they were chanting these things, they had to memorize it, right? And so basically there were certain swaras on the chanting. So the lakara would indicate a different swara. Takara can bring, when we use a feminine suffix ikara, when we make it feminine, that brings the feminine suffix. So see, each of these letters do mean something eventually, but really Panini Muni just says that you becomes ana. Any other questions so far? No. So declension, Lyut ending words decline as a ending neuter, like jnana. So this is what I was trying to say with like pratipadika or pratipadikam, right? The 1-1 of jnana is jnanam. So you can say jnanam or jnana. The 1-1 or the pratipadika is a jnanam. Similarly, that's what I was trying to say. You can say pratipadika or you can say pratipadikam. So similar like that, like jnana. You can say jnana or you can say jnanam. The pratipadikam is jnana. The 1-1 is jnanam. Jnanam, jnane, jnana. Okay. So we'll see these words in a moment. Vigrahavakya, we're going to skip for now, but the idea, I mean, actually, let's not skip it, but we're not going to go too deep in detail because you need to know more information to be able to get the Vigrahavakyas straight. So look at this. In Bhave, you can use other Kṛdanta words in the Vigrahavakya, right? So just to remember that a Vigrahavakya is a sentence which explains the meaning of the word. So when I'm in the sense of bhava, I can use other Kṛdanta words which also indicate that same sense, bhava, the same sense of the dhatu, can be used as an explanation. So for example, I have the word darshanam. So you have drish dhatu plus lyut becomes darshana. Okay, or in Napumsakalinga, darshanam. Now I can use that same dhatu, drish, and add a different suffix, which we haven't seen yet. I can add a different suffix, and that same dhatu will become drishtihi. So both words are made up of drish, to see, with different bhava artha, with different krit pratyas, which are in the sense of bhava. So the meaning of both words is seeing, sight, vision. And so we can use these words interchangeably. What's difficult right now is we're only seeing this first one. We haven't seen the other ways of making this. So it's going to be hard on our own to make these right now. We can come back and do some of this. Now, if we're doing in karana, a tinganta word with anena, a third case ending word of idam is used to show that word is used as an instrument. Okay. So for example, you see the sentence, drishyate anena iti darshanam. Okay. Now we're making this word, we're trying to explain this word, darshanam. And what the author or the speaker is trying to indicate by this sentence is that this word darshanam is not it's not bhave. It's in the sense of karana. It's the instrument of seeing. So how can the author say the instrument of seeing? What they do is they take the tinganta word, they use the same dhatu and make it into a tingantam. They add anena, which is a third case ending word of idam. So darshanam iti is that by, and then anena, by which something, by which this drishyate is seen. Darshanam is that by which something is seen. Right? Anena means it means third case of idam. So it's by this, by which, yeah, by this something. If we can translate. They're adding more words, but it's simply by this. Right? That by which something is seen. For example, an eye is darshan. That by which something is seen. But you have to see which of the vyutpatti, how are they making in the word? Is it just seeing, sight, vision, if the speaker wants to speak in bhave, or is it the instrument of seeing? We have to know the intention of the speaker. Okay, let's skip some of this for now, because I want to, time is flying by. I want to actually get us into lyut, and we get more examples of this. Hariprasad ji, you want to go ahead? Oh, you're muted still, if you want to, sorry.
Okay, I got it. Over there, please explain bhave once more. How bhava is a mood, right? So bhave is in the mood. So what is bhave? I mean, it looks like a
yeah, I will see more examples, and it'll be more
okay.
So bhave usually means mood, right? We're talking about the, but here take it more as bhava is the meaning of the verb, or the meaning of the dhatu itself. Okay, the meaning of the dhatu itself. So, right here, we're going to see an example of jnana. Jna, the dhatu, what does jna mean? To know. Now, if I'm saying, now I'm not saying jnana at the end, I'm not saying the object of knowledge. I'm not saying the knower. I'm not saying that by which something is known. I just want the meaning of the verb, the dhatu itself, bhave. So jnana in bhave means knowing, right? Just know, like knowing. Or we can take the abstract noun, meaning we can say knowledge, either knowing or knowledge is jnana, right? That's the bhava. It's not any karaka. It's not the object. It's not the instrument of knowing. It's not the locus of knowing. It's not any of that. It's just knowledge or knowing, the act of knowing. Act of knowing or knowledge. Those are similar. Okay. So let's see how it's made. Nya plus lyut. Again, lakara and takara go away. They're it letters, and hence they're removed. But you becomes ana. So now I have nya plus ana. And I have an akara plus an akara. You just add savarna dirgha sandhi. They go together, right? So it's jnana. So it's as simple as that. Nya plus ana becomes jnana. Okay. So as I was saying, now jnana is a neutral word because we're in the sense of bhava, and it declines as a ending napumsakalinga. In bhave, the meaning of jnanam is knowing, or we can say knowledge. And another word in bhava can be used to explain it. Okay? So let's not look at the vigraha vakya yet. Okay. So this much, is this clear? Jnana. Okay. Let's see one more example. Now we're using this word karane. Now, how does the word karane come, or karana? That itself is a Kṛdanta word. So here I have the dhatu kru. What does kru mean? To do. Okay. So kru plus lyut. Okay. Lyut becomes you, which becomes ana. So kru plus ana. Now, one of the effects of lyut is that you can get guna in the anga. So guna of r, this r vowel is a, and this is followed by refa, rakara. So kr becomes kar. Kr, the guna of kr becomes kar. Now, there's a rakara. Now, if the na is preceded by rakara or shakara, then that na can become murdanya nakara, natva sami, right? So the natva, the na of ana is replaced by na because of this refa, rakara. Now the word, just adding them together, is karana. Now, this word in bhave can mean, right, if the word is act or to do, to act or to do, you can either say doing or you can say action as the translation in bhave, right? Doing or action. Because you don't say that, we don't have a abstract noun of do. So we say action. Okay. So that's the bhave. Now, this word can also be, the word itself can be, it can have any sense. Karana, the word karana can also mean in karane, can mean the instrument of doing. Right, so it's one in the same word, depending with the intention of the speaker, can have a different translation. So it can be action, doing, or it can be, if the intention is the karana, is the instrument, then it can be instrument of doing. So it's a little bit tricky because I'm saying karane of karana. Hopefully that makes sense. But kriyate anena iti karanam, that by which something is done. Let's see one more example. We're going to make the word shravana. Have you heard the word shravana? Yeah, the word itself means hearing. So I hopefully you heard. Okay. Shru, to hear, is added to lyut, or lyut is added to shru. Lyut becomes you, which becomes ana. This much we're clear. As I said, lyut can cause guna. Okay, let me just come here for a second. Look, when we're doing guna, you know, if we have these letters like u becomes o. Refa, or sorry, r, the vowel becomes ar. U becomes o, and short e becomes a. Okay, so e becomes a, u becomes o, r becomes ar. So that's a good shorthand for us to remember, right? So going back, sorry. Guna can happen on this vowel u. So it becomes, as we just saw, u becomes o. So shro plus ana. Now there's a sandhi rule when I have okara in front of akara. By ayavayava sandhi rule, the o followed by a vowel becomes of. So shrav plus ana. Now this nakara can be murdanya because I have a ra in shra, right? So shrav plus ana. And finally, the word is just added together, shravana. Okay, so just to see that here, this is ayavayava sandhi, right? So if I have o followed by any vowel, it becomes of. Okay. So in the sense of bhave, it just means hearing, right? The act of hearing. Okay. So that's what that word means by itself. Shavan, hearing, listening, the act of listening. So that's the essence of this lyut. There was a question earlier, I just saw it in the chat. Someone said, what's the word kriyate mean? Kriyate is, it's right here. Kriyate is kṛdatu in karmani prayoga, when I'm at it making the verb. So kriyate means, if it's karmani, it's that which is done. That which is done. Just going back to that question. Okay, let's look at some other examples, just so we get this sense, and then we have to end. So if I have, let's start with number 2, as plus ana, I get asana, sitting or seat. Upa plus as plus lut, I get upasana, sitting, upa, near. If I get adi plus e, there's some sandhi, so it becomes adhyay, but adi e plus ana, so adhyayana, studying. Jan plus lut, janana, birth. Bandh plus ana, bandhana, binding, tying. So all these words, man plus ana, manana, thinking. We've heard all of these words. Now if you hear this ana, you can maybe guess, oh, this is it's lyut. It either means bhave or it has a specific karaka, maybe karane, maybe adhikarane. Okay. We'll see more of the karane, adhikarane in the next session when we do some of the other examples. But I wanted to get this so far, and we'll continue in our next class next Thursday. Okay. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Namaha. Hari Om.